Sorry, folks, but I just woke up. This is an emergency broadcast. Forget all the information that they're giving you from the medical experts, like these fucking creeps like Anthony Fauci. Fauci, all right? And that was a purposely slip. Anthony Fauci is a criminal creep. Absolutely, positively, Anthony Fauci is a guy. When you look at Anthony Fauci, ask yourself, does he look like a medical expert telling us information that's useful in our lives, or does he look like a creepy, scary guy who knows something that he's not telling us? Ask yourself that question. Has Anthony Fauci ever given you one piece of information that was even remotely useful to you? That guy is the biggest creep on the planet. And every time they talk to him, he's like, oh yeah, it's time to hunker down and, get ready because this thing's going to get worse. And, and then another time I saw him, he's like, well, I called my friends in Italy and they said it's really bad. And so, I don't know. You better, What? This guy doesn't sound like A, he has any passion for what he's doing. B, he doesn't sound like he knows what he's doing. C, he's one of these like honorary douchebags who has a track record with AIDS, supposedly. Excuse me. And therefore, oh God. Look, forget everything. I'm going to give you your medical advice right now. Okay. You don't leave your house without a mask on, right? They say, I read somewhere, they say, I just woke up, by the way. They say, if you're healthy, you shouldn't wear a P95 mask. What the fuck kind of bad advice is that? If you're healthy, don't wear a mask? No, everybody wears a mask. Everybody. Okay, second. It lives on the surface for 6 hours. Oh, it floats through the air and lives in the air. The 6 foot rule, stay 6 feet away from another person. This is all bullshit. This is not going to help you out. If it floats through the air and if it's highly, think it through now. They're on the record. They develop highly pathogenic, highly airborne, highly aerosol airborne delivery. They study how to deliver it through aerosol means, right? Meaning that they have studies. They spend millions of dollars in studying on how to spread it through the air, right? So this is the United States government that's doing this, not China, not Iran, not Italy. The United States government and their partners, Israeli intelligence, spend millions and millions of billions of dollars, actually, in novel ways to destroy life on Earth. That's what they're doing. Okay, so here's the long and short of it. This pathogen is highly airborne. It floats through the air and lives for a long period of time. So, if it touches your eyeball, you are going to get coronavirus. Don't wait for the medical. Don't pay attention to the medical authorities. They're lying. If it's someone from the CDC or the NIH or the NAID, their goals is to infect as many humans as possible because they're in on the plan. What's the plan? The plan is to infect and kill as many people on the world as possible so that they can usher in a new regime of totalitarian control where, you have to go through them. You have to get approvals to leave your house by the police. You have to get checked and touched by the authorities in order to go to the supermarket. They have to stick their fingers all over you, touch you, probe you, to feel you up, and at the same time they're gonna they're gonna feel real good about that. You can just imagine how many of these creeps. If you think the TSA is bad, I've said this before. I said this 5 years ago. Wait till you see what's coming to a supermarket for you, where you're gonna have thugs. Paid thugs in front of the supermarket and in front of the subway and the bus depot. And before you get on the bus, you're going to get the full pat down. And half the times going, hey, Jimmy, that girl was really cute that you felt up. Or, yeah, that was good, Joey. Here comes another one. I got this blonde. You take the brunette. Okay, hey, come here, honey. You want to go into the supermarket? You got to go through me. I'm gonna touch you. Turn around. Let me give you the crotch. Let me give you the crotch shot. That's the world that they want, right? So until you do something about it, and the only way this is going to change is if you take this video and you spread it around, because the Zionists who control Google, and they said, Jonathan Greenblatt, who's the head of the ADL, the largest Jewish lobby, he says, we control Google. So you're not going to get any of this information unless you take it and you send it to 10 of your friends and you say, you got to check out this channel because these bullshit scumbag idiots in Israeli intelligence are blocking access to Harry Vox's information. They're blocking access to credible, realistic information that's going to help us, and they're only allowing Don Lemon and Rachel Maddow and fucking Fox and MSNBC and CNN to get through. Dude, right now, you can forget about this bullshit Zionist media, and that's what it is. So if it's a mainstream media source, you can forget it, that they're in on the plot to cause harm to you and your family so that they and their friends can drive the stock price down and then sweep it up at a cheap deal. They are in on it. So your enemy is CNN is your enemy. Understand this. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell your friends. MSNBC are your enemy. They are neoconservative Zionist scum. They're all scum, okay? Every single mainstream network is your enemy. And now when you go to get news about the coronavirus on Google, the greatest search engine, and I put the quotes around it because it's not news, and these are not search engines. Google's not a search engine. So when you go to Google to get news about the virus, you're only getting the CNNs and the ABCs and the BBCs, right? They are all in on it because they are all controlled by Israeli intelligence. And so who did this crime? The United States Deep State Intelligence Operations with their partner, the Israeli intelligence, and it's the Israeli intelligence who are the ones that do the actual mechanics. They're the ones that can move through our societies completely invisibly, and no one can say anything about it. So they would be the ones, and they're the ones in 9/11 who handled the hijackers. We have the documents. We know they did the banking for the documents. The banking for the hijackers. So Muhammad Atta got money, and the money came from it was like a Jordanian bank account. I have to look in it, but it was handled by 6 Mossad agents that handled the hijackers. Now, I'm not saying they did it alone. No, the U.S. CIA, a very small splinter group in a rogue element in the Central Intelligence Agency, absolutely had to be involved in the U.S. military. Absolutely, you could not have done this without the U.S. military's involvement, because they had to do all these drills, these 22 drills that just so happened on that day. I'm not going to go down 9/11 right now because we don't have time for that. Everything you're being told from the medical establishment is a lie. Everything is a lie. So you cannot go out of your house unless you have goggles on, because they say, oh, the 6-foot rule. Have you heard that one? Stay 6 feet away from someone. And what? If they sneeze, you're going to be okay? Look, since this is the most airborne drug, a pathogen that we've seen in our lifetimes, what the fuck is staying 6 foot away going to do anything? So here's the medical advice you need to know. If somebody sneezes a quarter of a mile away, this thing, and you don't have goggles on, this thing's gonna come and float. It doesn't, not 6 feet. It can float 6 miles. Just think of it that way, okay? Whether it's actually can float 6 miles or a half a mile doesn't fucking matter. You're gonna be near somebody who's gonna sneeze. And believe me, brothers and sisters, 6 feet ain't gonna do it. Now, I'm not saying panic. I'm saying you cover your eyes and you cover your mouth with a P95 mask. If you do not have one, you make one. And don't think that toilet paper and paper towels is going to do it. If you have those masks that fold over, that flatten, they look like a little accordions, put 3 of them up and maybe you'll have a fighting chance. One of them is not going to do it. And the P95 mask, I don't even feel comfortable about. But leaving your eyes exposed, and they say, oh yes, it floats 6 feet, it floats a half a mile. Yeah, and who cares if it's 6 feet, 60 feet, 600 feet, or 6,000 feet? It doesn't matter. They are lying to you. You are not getting any credible information. Anthony Fauci is a fucking creep, okay? He's up to his ears in bioweapons research, by the way. CDC, NIH, they all conduct bioweapons research in contravention of the 1989 treaty, international treaty, prohibiting any research into this shit. And so they do it and they say, oh, this is to study it, to research it so we can find ways to help you. No, it's to find ways to kill you. It's to find ways to usher in martial law. That's what this is about. That's all they do. So I just woke up and I'm seeing all this shit. So this is not going to be a perfect video. You're going to get a lot more of these imperfect videos because I don't have the time to comb my hair and look pretty for you. I don't have time to make sure every single thing I say, I'm not reading from a script here. So you're going to get raw, uncensored, unscripted, no teleprompter truth about your fucking world.